Students, once again I'm here to connect you all through online classes. In the previous video I have given you the lesson acid, bases and salts. Now we shall learn the next part of it, that is physical and chemical properties of acids in this video. And before me starting the lesson, I want to give you some interesting facts about acids, children, because we all know some of the acids, like we know about citric acid, tartaric acid, but you all know what are the sources, children. Today we are going to learn what are the acids and the sources. The first one is acetic acid. We all use it in our kitchen. So what is the source for this acetic acid is vinegar. The second one is ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, the source is amla and gawa. And the third acid is citric acid. You all know citric acid. It's very commonly used in our day-to-day life, that is lemon and orange. Lemon and orange contains citric acid. And then lactic acid. You know, children, lactic acid, it is richly found in sour milk or curds. And then you have methanic acid. You know what is methanic acid? When insects like ants or needle insects, if they bite us, they secrete out an acid called methanic acid. Then we have oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is found in tomatoes. And then tartaric acid is found in tamarind. Now we shall learn about properties of acids and bases. In the previous video, I have given you the meaning of acid, bases and salts with the examples. Now I am going to explain you about properties of acids and bases. What are the physical properties of acids and bases? The first physical property of acids are sour to taste. Acids are sour to taste. And what about bases? Bases are bitter to taste, children. You have seen soap. You have tasted the soap. The soaps are bitter to taste. So those bitter to taste. So soap is an example of base, bitter to taste. And acids are sour to taste. You find sourness in the lemon, tamarind, gooseberries. So these contains acids called, some acids like lactic acid is found in sour milk. Then you have oxalic acid in the tomatoes. So like this, these acids are sour to taste. All acids are sour to taste and all the bases are bitter to taste. And the second one is acids are highly corrosive. They are very corrosive in nature. If they fall on our skin, they cause damage to our skin. So they are highly corrosive, whereas bases are less corrosive. They are not very dangerous. They are less corrosive in nature. And what about the third physical property of acids and bases? Acids turn blue litmus paper to red. Acids turn blue litmus paper to red. If you dip litmus paper in acids, the blue litmus paper turns to red. Bases turn red litmus paper to blue. These are the physical properties. And the fourth property is acids are good conductors of heat and electricity. They are good conductors, children, because I explained you in the previous video, when acids dissolve in water, they produce hydrogen ion. Because of these ions, they help in conduction. That's why acids are good conductors of heat and electricity. What about bases? Bases also are good conductors of heat and electricity. So even bases, when you dissolve in water, you get hydroxyl group, OH minus, and that's why even they are good conductors of heat and electricity. And bases are soapy to touch. They are bitter to taste. Okay, they are less corrosive when compared to acids. They turn red litmus paper to blue. And then they are good conductors. Acids are sour to taste, highly corrosive. They turn blue litmus paper to red, and they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Now we shall learn about classification of acids. So classification of acids. So based on the source, Acids are classified into two types: organic acids, inorganic acids. So what are organic acids? Organic acids are the acids which are obtained from plants and animals. They are obtained from plants and animals, and also they contain carbon as one of the element. So what are organic acids, children? Organic acids are the acids which are obtained from plants and animals and contain carbon as one of the element, and we can say these are also called weak acids. So these are also called weak acids. For example, if you can take an example like acetic acid. So acetic acid, if you CH3COOH, so this is acetic acid. Okay, and if you take formic acid, formic or methanic acid, both are same, children, HCOOH. So, and one more, if you take tartaric acid, so you find, so what is the formula? C4H6O6. So what you can see here, children, you can see carbon as one of the element in them. Here you find C, here you find C, here also you find C. And these, when you dissolve in water, partially they dissociate into hydrogen ion. Partially dissociate. The hydrogen ions partially, not completely. And that's why they are called weak acids. Okay, children. So organic acids are the acids obtained from plants and animals, and carbon will be basic element in them. Okay, now we'll see what are inorganic acids. These are the acids obtained from minerals. These are the acids obtained from minerals, and these are also called mineral acids. What you call this as? Mineral acids. And actually these are called, said to be strong acids. They are strong acids. These are strong acids. So what are those? HCl, hydrochloric acid, HNO3, nitric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So these are said to be strong acid because when you dissolve in water, they completely dissociate into hydrogen ions or hydronium ions. Now we understood, children, what is the classification of acids: organic acids and inorganic acids. Now we shall learn the other classification of acids is based on the strength. So based on the strength, again we can classify strong acids and weak acids. The name itself specifies these acids are said to be strong because they completely dissociate. When dissolved in water, they completely ionize or complete dissociation takes place. Complete dissociation takes place. Okay, they are called strong acids, and these produce high concentration of hydrogen or hydronium ions So what are strong acids? Strong acids, when dissolved in water, they dissociate completely, and they have high concentration of hydronium or hydrogen ions. For example, you can take HCl. When made to dissolve in water, you get complete dissociation of hydronium ion with the formation of chlorine. So here completely you can see hydrogen ions are dissociated. And you can take one more example, HNO3. These are strong acids. When you dissolve in water, complete dissociation of hydrogen or hydronium ions with the nitrogen oxide. So you will find like this. So complete dissociation of the hydrogen or hydronium ions takes place. These acids are called strong acids. When you come to weak acids in this, the partially or incomplete dissociation takes place. Partial, or we can say incomplete, or slightly dissociation takes place. Slight dissociation takes place. And these produce molecules and ions. So here we can see total dissociation of hydrogen ions. Here we can see molecules and formation of ions. For example, you can take acetic acid, CH3COOH. It is a weak acid we can say when dissolved in water. So what do you get? You get partially dissociation of hydrogen ion with the CH3COO. So here you can see partial hydrogen is present here. So it is partial dissociation, and this type of acids are called as weak acids. So weak acids are those when dissolved in water, partial or incomplete or slightly dissociation takes place. Now we shall learn about chemical properties of acids. So what very important, children, for your exam point of view, chemical properties of acids. So what are the chemical properties of acids? First one, acids react with active metals. Acids react with active metals. So the reaction of acids with active metals. So that's the reason I have written here metallic series, children. So as you come down, the reactiveness of the metals will decrease. So the topmost elements, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, these are highly reactive elements. So what happens when acids react with this highly reactive metals? So when acids react with highly reactive metal, like you can take zinc or you can take magnesium, whatever it is, highly reactive elements, what happens? You get salt ZnCl2 with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Okay, students. So acids react with active metals, okay, to liberate, to form salt along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Metallic salt along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So acids react with active metals, okay, to produce metallic salts with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So we call it as zinc chloride. This is called zinc chloride with the liberation of hydrogen gas. You can take one more example, magnesium plus. Is this equation balanced, children? No. You have one Zn, one Zn atom. Here how many atoms of hydrogen? 1. Here you have 2. So to make it 2, put 2 here. So 1 Zn, 1 Zn, 2H, H2, Cl2, 2Cl. Now Mg plus HCl. This is dilute. So you have to remember, children, dilute. You should know what you mean by dilute and concentration. I'll explain you. So when magnesium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid, what do you get? You get magnesium chloride with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So again you have to balance 1 Mg, 1 Mg, 1 H, 2 H is here. So put 2. So you have 2H, H2, 2Cl. So what happens when acids reacts with active metals? When acid reacts with active metals, metallic salts along with liberation of hydrogen gas, zinc chloride. Here magnesium chloride is formed. Magnesium chloride with the liberation of hydrogen gas. The second chemical property of acids are, what happens when acids react with bases? That is, what happens when acids react with bases? Action of acids with bases. So action of acids with bases. So you can take any base, like we have bases like metallic oxides as well as metallic hydroxides. So you can take oxides, metallic oxide. So when acids are made to react with metallic oxides, that is copper oxide plus H2SO4, you get salt and water, CuSO4 plus water. So what happens when acids react with base? To form salt and water. Acid reacts with base to form salt and water. Remember, children. And metallic oxide, if you take metallic hydroxide, now NaOH plus, if you take HNO3. So what you get? Again you get salt and water. You get NaNO3 plus water, H2O. Sodium nitrate. along with water. You understood, children? So what are the chemical properties? The first one, acids reacts with active metals to form metallic salts along with the liberation of hydrogen. Acids reacts with bases to form salt and water. Next chemical property of acids is what happens when acids react with carbonates and bicarbonates. Carbonates and bicarbonates. You have to remember, children, when acids reacts with carbonates and bicarbonates, carbon dioxide is released. You can take an example. Carbonate, CaCO3, calcium carbonate, when made to react with hydrochloric acid, you get salt, CaCl2 plus water plus carbon dioxide. So when acids react with carbonates, you can see carbon dioxide is produced. When acid reacts with carbonates, because carb found here, so carbon dioxide is released. When acid reacts with carbonates, carbon dioxide is released. You can take one more example. When acids reacts with bicarbonates, bi means H, children. So CaHCO3 twice plus HCl will give rise to CaCl2 plus water plus carbon dioxide again. So children, we'll see whether this equation is balanced or not. How many atoms of calcium? 1. How many atoms of calcium here? How many atoms of carbon? Here 1. Here 1. How many atoms of carbon? Here you have 3. Here you have 2 plus 1, 3. How many atoms of H? You have 2 here. So 2 here. 2H, H2. 2Cl, Cl2. Okay, children. Now it's the same way, calcium bicarbonate. Okay, when made to react with hydrochloric acid, you get salt, water along with the liberation of carbon dioxide. You can balance Ca, Ca. H is 2, children. So here you have 2H. C is 2. You have 1. Put here 2. Okay. Okay. So O is 3 2s are 6. So 2 here. 2 2s are 4 plus. Okay, 4. Here you have 4 plus 1 5. So to make it, so 2. So Ca is 1. 1 Ca. 2H. You have 2 H's. So you have here 4H. Here 2. Here only 1. So make it 2. So here 2H will become 4H. And how many carbon atoms? 2. So you have 2. How many oxygen atoms? 6. Here 2 plus 4, 6. How many H's? 2H. Here 4H. Here 2 plus 2, 4, children. 2Cl, Cl2. Okay, children. The equation is balanced. So what happens when acids reacts with carbonates? Carbon dioxide is released. What happens when acids react with bicarbonates? Carbon dioxide is released. Okay, children. Fourth chemical property of acids are what happens when acid reacts. What happens when acid reacts with sulfides? What happens when acid reacts with sulfides? When acid reacts with sulfide, they produce metallic sulfides. They react with metallic sulfides to produce hydrogen sulfide. Okay, children. So you can take what happens when acids react with metallic sulfide, zinc sulfide. It is a metallic sulfide. You get what we get? We get salt, that is zinc chloride, with the liberation of hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, children. So acids react with sulfides, metallic sulfides, to form salt along with the liberation of hydrogen sulfide gas. You can take one more example, iron sulfide plus H2SO4. You get iron sulfate with the liberation of hydrogen sulfide gas. Hydrogen sulfide gas has rotten egg smell, children. Very bad smell. This is the one of the indication to know that the liberated gas is sulfide. It is one of the identification tests for sulfide gas. Next chemical properties. What happens when acids reacts with chlorides? So what happens when acids react with chlorides? So you have to remember metallic chlorides, children. What happens when acids reacts with chlorides? So when acid reacts with chlorides like sodium chloride, when made to react with acids, that is H2SO4 concentrated. So concentrated means, children, the number of hydrogen ions will be more, and that is in concentrated we take less amount of water and more amount of chemical substance. Less amount of water, more amount of chemical substance, that is called concentrated. And dilute is more amount of water, less amount of substance, that is less hydrogen ions will be found, that is called dilute. More water, less chemical reagent. Less water, more chemical reagent is concentrated. So when you take chloride like sodium chloride, when made to react with the acid, that too if you heat it below 200 degrees Celsius, then you get sodium bisulfate with the formation of hydrochloride gas. This is hydrochloride gas, children, remember. So what happens when acid reacts with chlorides? You can see hydrogen chloride gas is liberated. Hydrogen chloride gas is liberated. You have to remember, children, when acid reacts with chlorides, that is metallic chlorides, what you get? You get salt, that is sodium bisulfate, along with the liberation of hydrogen chloride gas. So if you take the same sodium chloride, okay, and make it to react with sulfuric acid, sodium chloride with the sulfuric acid above, if you heat it above, this is below, above 200 degrees Celsius. So what you get? You get sodium sulfate with that is Na2SO4 with the formation of hydrogen chloride gas. Okay, children, you all understood. So what happens when acid reacts with chlorides? When acid reacts with chlorides, you can see a salt is formed along with the liberation of hydrogen chloride gas. Now we shall learn what are the uses of acids, children. What are the uses of acids? I hope you have understood all the chemical properties of acids, children, which is very, very important for an exam. Now we shall learn what are the uses of acids. So when you know the uses of acids are really used as preservatives. The first is they are used as preservatives. You know why, children, they are used as preservatives? Because acids are used as preservatives because they bring down the or decrease the pH level. They are used because to decrease the pH level of the food items, so that the food items will not get spoiled. Okay. The second one is they are used in laundries, children. They are used in laundry as a reagent because they have the ability to remove the stains. They are used in laundry to remove. They have the ability to remove the stains on the cloth. Third one, they are used as flavoring drinks. Acids are used for flavoring drinks. Tea, coffee, okay, beverages. So in order to give good flavor to the drinks, acids are used. Not only that, acids are used as antiseptics. They are used as antiseptics, like boric acid is used as antiseptic. Acids are used as baking powder. They are used as baking powder to bake the food items. In dairy products, acids are used, that is tartaric acid. Tartaric acid is used in bakeries as baking powder. Then we have acetic acid, that is preservative, I told you children. So acetic acid is one of the preservative. Acetic acid is one of the preservative to decrease the pH level. And we have phosphoric acid. So what is the use of phosphoric acid? It is used as fertilizer. It is used as fertilizer. Okay children. So this is about acids children. We have learned what are the properties of acid, physical properties and chemical properties and uses of acids.